WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. You've reached Discussions from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm Grandma Mo.
And I'm Lisa DCT.
So lots to talk about, What are we going to start with?
Party's over.
Party's over.
I'm like,
I know,
geez,
that's the worst part of the whole thing.
Whitney Houston, God rest her soul, better get a lot of royalties. They used her songs during the whole,
yeah.
Somebody. I was like, yeah.
You know what I thought was the best part of the whole thing? I mean, I was rooting for, I had predicted a UConn UCLA championship game, but the best part for me was when Holly Rowe was talking to Gabrielle Jaquez, and Gabrielle Jaquez, just the Energizer Bunny.
She's incredible.
Energizer Bunny. And, they had talked about her being in like 8 years old and having this goals list and everything, and how she had wanted to go to UCLA her whole life. And that was so cool. But Gabriella Jaquez, she was like, okay, what did you guys, I forget the exact question, but it was something like, okay, well, what was your goal, or what did you get out of this or something? And she just kind of goes, we wanted to be national champions. And then she just kind of went.
Yeah. And she did. She was great. She was fantastic. The best team won throughout the whole, through the Final Four. You've been watching them all year long. You predicted that was going to happen. I was shocked by some of the results, not so much UConn, because I thought that was going to be a tough game. I did pick them, but my gut was saying South Carolina, because I didn't think it was going to be easy for them, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the shocker was how poorly Texas played. And Booker didn't have a good night. And my predictions, I guess what I'm saying, didn't come true. You win.
Well, I had I'm out here on the West Coast, and there's definitely I wouldn't say it's an East Coast biased, but when I'm watching UCLA, you guys are sleeping.
Right.
Because it's like, if they have a game at 7:00 for us, on the West Coast, you guys, it's 10:00, everybody's sleeping. Yeah. And they're certainly not up for the final of the game. And so no one actually watches them play all year.
Right.
That's on the East Coast. So
I
couldn't believe, all the announcers, every single one picked South Carolina. And I'm like, did you guys actually, you know what? They were all basing it on UCLA last year. And they thought the bright lights were going to be too big for them again. And the truth is that when you first get to that level, and if you watched any of the interviews, all the UCLA players were like, whoa. Last year, they were like, whoa, what is this? And they just didn't know how to handle it. And neither did Corey Close, because it was her first time, too.
Right.
But it was like, oh, you know what? I think they know this year. And I think they, because they were darn good last year. And I picked them to win last year. But the lights were too big. They were deer in the headlights. Not Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts played well against UConn last year, but nobody else did. Everybody else was like, whoa.
Tell me you weren't concerned at the beginning of the game. That was a bizarre thing. She said, the dry air, which is true.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what's going on? She was like, there's something in my throat. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is the weirdest beginning.
Yeah, they increased their lead, though, during that time.
I was
when
like,
she was on the bench,
they did.
UCLA, that's where the other four players were.
Right.
And everybody, everybody just doesn't even mention Angela Dugalich. I am such a big, nobody's better than Lauren Betts. Let's put that, she is unstoppable. And the only one that can stop her is herself. But Angela Dugalich, oh my God. She is the unsung hero. And when they put her and Lauren Betts are in the game together, they don't do it. They didn't do it enough. I thought they should have done it all the time and they'd win by 100. Angela Dugalich, either high-low with Lauren Betts, oh my God, that was unstoppable. And they didn't do that a lot. But when
Yeah.
they did it, it was like, oh, like Angela Dukelich is 6'4", and she's very, very tough. She's strong underneath, but Lauren Betts is 6'7", and her
Right.
arms are friggin',
I finally listened to her story,
oh, it's bad.
and so I appreciate, everything that she's gonna help other people, going forward. I'm sorry that she went through everything that she went through,
Yeah, it was
but
bad.
imagine the kids she'll be able to reach that are going through the same
Well, she
thing.
made it through. She made it through, and the whole thing. The reason I'm so giddy. I mean, I'm terrible. It's like
Nah, you
I
like to
started
make them.
watching them last year, and I was like, oh boy, this is a good team. And they were battling with Juju last
Yeah.
year. And when they overcame beating them in the Big Ten championship, because if you watch the UCLA thing they did on Fox, you can find it on YouTube. It's Youseela, and it
Okay.
was their journey last year. And they lost twice to USC. They were the number one team in the country, and they came up against USC, and they had already won 23. I think they had already won 23 games, and then boom, they hit USC. And USC has Kiki Ariafin, who's now in the pros. They
Right.
had Juju, and they lost to them by like 2 points the first game. And they were heartbroken. And the documentary brings you in the locker room afterwards. And Corey Close is like, okay, I want to hear what happened. And she is so into this
Right.
with her team and this.
Yep.
And I just think that's so great. It's so great. And I kept seeing that. Um, so anyway, the but you see the whole thing that was happening with them and how they were just, that was their first heartbreak because they were just like, okay, we have it. And they've been together. I mean, Lauren Betts came in her sophomore year, but Ledger Walker came in and she was hurt last year, but she was all right there in it. And you could just see their growth. It was like none of them except Janiah Barker. Janiah Barker quit on them, and Jones went to USC this year.
Right.
But other than that, they all stayed together. And it was just like, instead of quitting, they were like, we're doing this. Because they knew.
Right.
They knew. They were like, oh, we're darn good. Like, and if you watch it, all those players, except Jaquez was, you saw the thing about her with her 8th grade thing.
Yeah.
She was going no matter what. But the rest of the players went there because Kiki Rice went. They all
Right.
wanted to play with her. Anyway, so just for me, it was their story and how they
Same thing.
fought through
Same thing.
everything and how Corey Close being mentored by John Wooden and just teaching their hearts. You got to
Yep.
get their hearts.
Yep.
Their jump shots will follow. And she has all these phrases that are kind of quirky. But, her big thing is banners hanging, hanging gyms, rings collect dust. But what you become, who you are and who you impact, you have for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And it's like, this is old school. Oh my God. Like,
Yes, it is.
this
Yes,
is
it
what
is.
it should be.
A
And
coach that actually really, really cares that people are all set, like you said, mind and heart matter. Because after this is all done, you still need to be the
yeah,
same,
like what's
you know.
left after it? I mean, fortunately now there's
Exactly.
a WNBA and UCLA is going to get, I, I don't know about Ledger Walker. I mean, she's a good point guard, but she's a little too short. But then again, we'll see who picks her up. But, the rest of the 5 are going to go. And
Right.
you have championship, I'll bet you, like, because people are looking at athleticism, which is fine, but you're looking at a team full of players that had to fight to get there.
Yeah, that's
And
why I
that is
like
the
it.
Valkyrie way. The
That's why I
Valkyries
like it.
picked up players that were fighters
Right.
but did it the right way. Not physically fighting, but just fighting to be better.
Yep.
And that's what
I agree.
drew me into I mean, they're in San Francisco, so that's the closest thing I'm going to get to a team. But that fight just, it's so attractive to watch. And the Valkyries selling out their games proves that that's the way people want to see teams play and play as a
Exactly.
team and play hard and play for each other.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of it all.
I did notice that in the tournament, especially the last couple of games, that Betts has implemented a couple of new shots to
Yeah, she
her,
has.
and that's going to be to her benefit.
Oh, way, because I
Hugely.
kept going, like watching her, I was like, oh, because she would earlier in the year and last year, she would force it in, and then the
Right.
guards would come in and grab the ball from her. This year, it's like somebody got in her ear. It's like, look, just turn around and shoot. You got the 5 foot
Exactly.
jumper. Like, no
Yeah.
one's gonna be able to
Yeah.
stop
I was like,
that. And
nobody's going to
boom.
touch it. Nobody's going to touch it.
No.
Maybe in the men's game, but certainly not in the women's.
Yeah.
Not going to
No one's
happen.
gonna touch it.
And it was. She had a nice touch.
Oh yeah,
She
she hit
busted it
one from the
quite a
top
few
of the
times.
key.
Yeah.
Like she was around the foul line. She was like, okay.
Yeah. I was just, I was shocked that both games were kind of boring to the half, but that's kind
Yeah.
of normal. And then things start to happen and what have you. But I was impressed by the second half of the UCLA game at just how
Yeah.
they stayed composed and kept going at them.
Yep.
No matter what,
And
kept going at them.
their hardest game was the Texas game, which I knew it would be. But one of the things that they did, like in the scout, I found out afterwards, they were like, okay, you have to for Texas. See, the problem with Texas is they only have Booker and Harmon. I mean, they
Yeah.
have these other players which have since gone into the transfer portal, which
Everybody's in the
eh,
transfer. Everybody's in the portal.
I know. But they were like they studied, they did a good scout on Texas because they found out that Madison Booker was lethal at 12 feet.
Yeah.
And so what they did defensively, and this is the thing that no one was counting on, UCLA, you'd hear it from teams that like after they'd get interviewed, they're like, oh, they're really tall. Like they're
Yeah.
really tall. And Lauren Betts is tall, but Kiki Rice is 6 feet. She's 5'11", 6 feet. Jean Neepkins is 6 feet tall. Hawkes is 6 feet tall. Dukelich is 6'4", and they're mobile. They're very good defensively.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they don't, because they're all 6 feet and they're mobile, they don't bother. The picks don't matter because they just switch.
Right.
So you can't get by them with picks.
Right.
Even Lauren Betts was picking up Madison Booker.
You're not going to have a
What?
disadvantage.
No.
Yeah.
And nobody was thinking about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I don't care how fast you are because you're not going to be able to get by them. And then if you do, Lauren Betts is sitting there and she's
I
going to
know.
go, what are you coming in here with that? Wham!
Come to me, little Nat. I've got you. Harmon and Booker, exactly right. They couldn't do anything, but you need a full team.
You
You
do.
need
Well,
other and
the
yeah,
thing about Booker missing, she missed all her shots, but what they did was they pushed her outside that
push her out.
12-foot
Yeah,
range.
that's right.
They pushed her to 17 feet.
Yeah.
That's what they said. They analyzed it afterwards, and that's why she didn't make all. I mean, I'm sure. Sorry, Miss Little decided to join us.
It's
Um, um, it was like, damn, Booker's not hitting, but the play of the game, the play of the tournament. This is I mean, yes, you could say the Duke last second shot that was epic,
yeah.
but the most impactful play of the entire tournament was when Texas was making a run in the fourth quarter and Booker got the ball and she started coming down and you knew she was going to just take it herself. And Lauren Betts said, not in my house.
Yeah.
And she blocked that shot.
Yeah. Not on my watch.
Oh my God. That was like, whoo. I mean,
Yeah,
that sealed the game.
yeah.
It sealed the game. And she didn't just block it. She kept it in bounds. She grabbed the ball and gave it to Ledger Walker. And it was like, I just went, oh, we won. It was
No, it
like,
was great. I was happy
oh,
for
what
you.
a block.
I really was. I was happy for all of them, because it's well deserved. And that's
Yeah.
what you want to see. You want to
Yes, you
see
do.
good games played without a lot of hoopla. And we know we went through some hoopla that wasn't
Yes.
necessary and kind of stole a little bit at times away from other things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just let it go. Let it
Yeah.
go. And let them enjoy this moment. Don't go back to the other stuff. That'll
Yeah,
all play
UCLA's
itself
having
out.
they're having a celebration tonight at Pauley Pavilion. And then I was able to catch them coming home um, after the game. They came home off the plane, and this whole slew of people were waiting for them at UCLA's
Ah,
campus.
that's nice.
That was really cool for them.
I saw they went to a Laker game, I think,
Oh,
because
I didn't see that.
Bet's got to, she goes, my way, she was all excited.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
they're
you know
going
what
everywhere.
yeah, what was really cool is Gavin Newsom, their governor here in California, lit up the state capitol blue and
I saw
gold.
you posted that. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
I thought that was
Yeah,
cool. And then the New York Times did too. The New York Times
very good.
did. I
Yeah.
thought, oh wow, that was cool.
And as
Like,
happy as I was for all the girls, because how could you not? It's truly a great ending to a story.
yeah,
Corey Close, 15 years, like you said, under John Wooden, just like her.
yeah,
I
she's a
forget
good.
what she said about something about the leather pants. People
Oh,
were
it
making
became
fun
like
of her,
all the.
'cause- and yet she's like really successful when she wears them, and they're like,
Yeah,
you
they
have
were
to,
like leather up.
yeah,
They'd say to
leather
her,
up,
leather up, and she was like,
yeah,
okay. Like
yeah,
she wasn't superstitious herself, but the
yeah.
rest of the people around her were like, "Oh no, you need to wear those leather pants."
So
Can you imagine how
happy
hot
for
that
her.
was?
I know. I was so happy for her,
Yeah, me too.
and her joy because she could enjoy that moment. She was so happy for the players, but she
And then
realized,
her
wow,
mom comes out from the
their
stands
mom
and she hugs her
came
mom.
down.
Yeah,
I
that was cool.
know that was great.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
it was a good ending to
It was. It was
some really shitty games, in the final four.
yeah. The whole key, because everyone kept focusing on UConn and South Carolina, understandably. They've won the most championships in, the women's NCAA. But, that Texas UCLA game, it was, I mean, Corey Close apologized to the fans. She goes, I'm sorry, this is probably not. But UCLA had to tough out Texas.
Right.
And you could see that they were able to play because they were one of the highest scoring teams, and I think they were second offensively to UConn all season long. But they had to beat out Texas at their own, because that was a slugfest.
Oh
There
yeah,
was it was just like bam, bam. Oh my God.
I agree. I
But
agree.
getting by Texas, because that was the one I was more worried about. Because as you know, I went to that Elite Eight game and I saw South Carolina. I'm like, oh yeah, no, they don't have anything that's gonna take down UCLA if it comes to that. But I didn't think they'd beat UConn either. But UConn, you could see in the last couple games, they just weren't scoring as much.
Nope.
And
And that's what I said. They're gonna have a huge problem. They folded, and
they missed Paige Becker's leadership.
yeah,
I
they
saw
do.
that. They were looking when they're bringing the ball down and they're looking at Gino like, hey, what do we do? Whereas last year, Paige Becker's was like, okay, everybody follow me.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
they needed a leader, and they didn't have one at that time.
yeah, Sarah Strong's
Happens
not
though.
old enough,
It
but that will
happens.
teach UConn.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
will
said all
teach
year
them.
long. I said all year long that they needed to get punched in the face. That was their punch in the face.
Yeah, a little
No,
too
no
late in the
reason.
season for it, but
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
no reason to cry about it. Learn from it
yeah,
and
yeah.
get better.
And they'll develop leadership out of it too. Sarah Strong will probably develop leadership
Right.
because, I mean, she's only a sophomore. Like people forget that. It's like, yeah, she's a
Yeah, I
great
know.
player, but, she had Paige Beckers last year. And it's
Right.
like she could just play free. And it hit a point, and I'll bet that was something to do with her frustration. I mean, yes, she's missing shots, but, you know, having Paige there she wouldn't have worried about that.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like she had to step up and she wasn't ready for it, which that's
Right.
fine. It's like, okay, this is part of the game and you got to learn how to do that. And she'll get it. I mean, I'm sure, watch her next year. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll probably be crazy next year.
Well, they need another big in there, UConn, and they needed to get in the paint. Too many shots that weren't falling from outside the
Yeah.
paint. Nobody
Yeah.
was driving. Nobody. And I'm like, oh, forget it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then poor Kylie, is it Heckle? What's her first name?
Oh, they missed the layup. They missed a bunch of
Oh, I
layups
know they did,
during
but
the
for her,
course
it
of the
was
game.
like she
I
started
know.
crying and it was like,
They told her
oh man.
put your chin up.
I
It
know, but
happens.
that tells you the heartbreak that if
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my God, we can't do anything right.
Yeah.
And here it is, you get a wide open thing and then you miss it, and it's just like, oh my God, when you're really struggling and that happens, it's like,
Yeah.
oh God, like
Yeah.
how many more things can go wrong
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
happens. Happens even in the men's game. They miss a
yes,
dunk.
it does.
They hit the back of the. It happens.
Oh, that's the thing that always gets me. It's like, oh well, the women must miss layups. I go, well, the guys are a lot closer to the basket, and I see them miss a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, don't bring that one here because I see a lot of those little, 5-footers that the guys miss. And it's
That
like,
thing happened again with one of the rims. I don't know if it was the guys' game or the girls' game. It stayed on the back and then
yeah,
went whoop. I'm like, what is going? Either they have the most level rims
yeah,
that I've ever seen. I'm like, I've
yeah,
never seen that happen multiple times now.
yeah, yeah. I know. It was, but if you
Crazy.
swish, it doesn't matter.
No, exactly. Exactly
That's
right.
the
They're like,
thing.
oh, and then it's like, oh, maybe they got magnets in the ball. I'm like, stop. Stop.
So, one of the key
Jesus.
things I saw yesterday, guess what the viewership was? Did you see
It
that?
was, yeah, it was huge.
9.9 million.
9.9. Yeah.
Do you
Everybody
know what it
watches
was? They were
women's
saying
sports.
Caitlin Clark's was, you know what Caitlin Clark's was? 4.
Yeah, there you go.
This was bigger than that. That tells you the game's growing. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. That is just phenomenal.
Like you said, now that they put everything on TV, people will watch. Let
Yeah,
them be able to find the freaking games.
I know. I know.
People will
It's
watch.
amazing. It's like, can you imagine how many more people are doing like I was and watching it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Did they count that?
No.
They
I'm sure they
didn't.
didn't. They
Yeah.
should
So
have added to that.
how many more people actually watch that game?
Exactly. Well, that's how I'd have to watch half of the games because you can't catch it on here.
No, you
During
can't.
the course of the year,
Yeah, it's too
you're
hard
gonna
to do
have
that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
especially with all the streaming now. You can watch
Maybe
replays of stuff.
they make that more of now that they see that so many people are viewing, have weren't they going to have one channel just for women? They should still do that.
Oh, I found a new channel streaming called Victory Plus, I think it's called.
Okay.
And it has like women's football, and it
Yeah,
has
that's what I mean. They should have all women's thing.
well, there's Whoopi
I thought
Goldberg's
Whoopi Goldberg
channel,
was going to do that. Yeah.
all women, what is it called? Um I don't know, but you can find it on, it's a streaming thing. It's
Oh,
on
is it? I was wondering if
Vizio.
that started. Okay, because I
If you
remember
go to the
her
Vizio
announcing it.
Plus or something,
Okay.
all women's
Women's
sports
sports, maybe?
network, AWSN,
Yeah.
and they have all sorts of stuff on there. You can see a lot of the overseas stuff, and you can see, because I want to watch UCLA softball. Did you see the one of the really cool things was Corey Close was being interviewed, and when she first got to UCLA 15 years ago,
Yeah.
that's when she was being mentored by John Wooden. And she walks in the building, and UCLA is a very successful school and a lot of other things. And of course, men's basketball. John Wooden had those 10, more than anybody, 10 championships in a row. The Lou Alcindor days and Bill
Yeah.
Walton and all those teams. And you walk in there and there's all these trophies and stuff. And she said there was one spot that was open And she said she took a picture of it and it was like, that's going to be ours.
There you go.
And it all came true. Like
It did.
that's the thing that drew me in was the fight and the like, oh man. And I think we talked about last time. It was like Sue Bird was like when she was being interviewed, people were asking her, "Who do you think?" She goes, "Oh, I saw that UCLA bench last year." She goes, "They were gut punched," and she goes, "I don't know. There's gonna be," and it turned out to be true.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I was so nervous about the championship game. I was sitting out on I mean, it was a beautiful Easter day here in California. I was sitting out on my deck. I was so nervous I couldn't watch it because I knew I could always go back and watch it. And I
Oh,
would peek in and so I saw the end of the first quarter was 21-10. I went, oh, I'm like, and I'm like looking at my phone on Facebook and looking for people making comments. And I'm like, okay, it's going good. Okay. And then I started to get suspicious.
so you
And
turned
I
it
was
on.
like, okay, they're winning. I'm going to stay out here. And I thought I'd jinx them if I went in the house. It's so
Oh my God,
stupid.
I do that too. I do that too. I swear to God, I do.
And then the fourth, I saw they were ahead. I think like I don't know, they were ahead by like 13 or so at some point in the third quarter, and I went, okay, I can come in and watch now. So I watched the rest of the
Yeah,
game, and they could have won by 40 if they wanted to, but they started taking people out at like the 4 minute mark
they
because
did.
they were up by 35. And
Yeah.
Hawkes came out, Lauren Betts came out, and they still won by 28, and they didn't score. I think the last 4 minutes of the game,
Hawkins
they might have gotten.
had the most points, I think. She had
Hawkes was 21 points
21 points. Yeah. 10 rebounds. I
and
loved
five
her.
assists.
She was
She
everywhere.
is she was up there as far as championship games go. She was up there with like some of the really big names in this game. Candace Parker or Holsclaw. Someone else as far as performance in a championship game. It was 20, 10, and 5.
Wow.
And there's only 3 other players that have done that in the
Yeah.
history of the NCAA.
I
So
know. She had a great game. I thought
she
she'd
was
get
just she
player
was
of the
just
game. I know. She will. Her
well, it
great
was for
game
the
too.
tournament. And
Right.
that's why
I
I mean,
get
even
that.
Lauren Betts pointed at her when she
Yeah.
got announced. She pointed at Hawkes and was
And
like,
how do they
"Oh,
not have a trophy?
I know." Holly Rose said it. She's like,
Yeah.
"Isn't there supposed to be
And
a trophy?"
we have a trophy.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, oh man,
I
the
love Holly
disrespect
Rowe.
for UCLA.
I do. I love Holly Rowe. She used to be, I'd see her on the when we went to the
Oh,
Connecticut
she's
Sun
great.
games. And she's just funny because to get when Gino at halftime during the UConn game, she had to sprint across the floor. And I'm like, look at her little legs go. She was like going
Yeah.
crazy trying to get to him, and she finally did. I love
Yeah.
her. She's always spot on to get the interview. And
Oh
then
yeah.
she's like, you know,
I know. She's really
the
short.
players are all bending down. She's tiny, you know.
Especially next to Lauren Betts. Like, holy crap.
There you go. Oh my
But
God.
just great stories all around. It was
Oh, it was
I've been
fantastic.
on a high for like 2 days. It was just
I was happy
I was
for you.
just
I was
like my
happy for
heart was
them.
filled.
Yeah.
I was so crushed last year because I thought, oh, I mean, I wasn't as crushed as they were, but I know that feeling. And it's just, I think the thing that hit me was when I played, I never got a chance to come back from that because
Yeah.
I was a senior. But I
Right.
remember that gut punch. Oh, crap, we made it this far. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just gut wrenching. And to see them come back
Yeah.
stronger,
Full circle. Yeah.
just what a story. I
It
mean,
was. It was. It was
I've
great.
been giddy for like, oh, it's terrible. But
No,
now
it's
I'm looking at the draft. It's like you're looking at because everyone's like, oh, UCLA, they put out a top 25 already. UCLA's not on it because they lost all their seniors, and their
yeah.
seniors scored every single point in the Final Four, like both
But
games.
like we said, they have their pick now because everybody's in the portal, including Audie Crooks.
They're not going to
Who,
take Audie Crooks.
oh, of course not. But I was like, oh, she's. Oh, well, who else? Let me see. Sarah Strong got the AP National Player of the Year. That
Yep.
wasn't a shocker.
Yeah.
Naismith, Coach of the Year, went to Shea Ralph.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, that's nice.
Yeah,
And
they basically came out of nowhere.
yeah, I was
It
like,
was great.
and then
That was
Hannah,
well deserved. I was fine with that.
I was like, me too. Hannah Hidalgo is the shortest player to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I thought Lauren. Oh no,
Naismith.
Lauren Betts won for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she
For
had all those
Naismith.
steals. I mean,
I
when
was
I was
like,
playing,
hey,
one of
for
my
the
teammates was,
shorties.
yeah, one of my teammates was fourth in the nation in 1984. She was fourth in the nation in steals, and she had 104. And that was, I'll tell you, playing against someone, alongside someone that was getting all those steals, for her to have 200, that's an immense amount of
Yes, it's
steals.
amazing. And she's young yet.
Well,
Just
she'll be a
imagine.
senior next year. She'll
But
be a senior.
still
No, I know she's coming back. She needs
amazing.
help though. You can't do.
Yeah.
They need. It's like all these teams think that just running up and down the court and shooting outside shots, but you have to have a big anchor. I mean, if
Right.
anything that UCLA proved, it's like, oh my God, you have to have that big because if those shots are not falling, you have got to go inside and you've got to be dominant inside.
That's
And
why I think WNBA draft, any team would be stupid to not pick bets first.
oh, and you think if Dallas doesn't pick her, I mean they cored Arike, so you know they're not going to pick AZ. They're
Right.
not going to pick her because they kept Arike unless
Yeah.
they're going to use her to trade.
Right.
But the minute I saw that, I'm like, oh, they're going big. They're going to go big.
Yeah.
And it's like either you pick Awafam, if they pick Awafam, which I saw clips of her playing, and she's very athletic. She looks like
Yeah,
Dominic, but she's not 6'6" like Malanga.
right.
She's 6'3" or 6'4". It's like that's big, but it's not big enough. You know, you get those couple of extra inches, and it's like, and it may work out, but she's only 19. But when you look
Right.
at her, the clip she's playing, everybody else is this much shorter than her.
Right.
It's like that's not going to happen in the WNBA. And I'm like, you know, but if they pick her, you think Cheryl Reeve is going to let Lauren Betts go by? If
No.
they, no
No.
way, no
No.
way. Because look at her championships. Who did they have in their championship years? Minnesota. They had Sylvia Fowles.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Sylvia
need
Fowles
another
was
big.
6'6". You
Yeah.
got to have a dominant big. I mean, look at the aces. You have Asia Wilson.
There are rumors that maybe Jackie won't be going back to the Aces.
Well, who are they going to put? They have Asia Wilson gets a max contract. That's $1.4 million.
Yeah, I
That
know.
leaves you with five. What? Five? What am I? 5.4 million. And then you got to pay Chelsea Gray. You
Right.
got to pay Jackie Young, and only the rest of your players.
I'm like, oh, that's
They
interesting.
can't all stay.
No, I know. Well, that's why they shook everything. The center, I can't think of her name on the links. Um,
Oh, Alana Smith.
nope. She has a
Oh,
really wonderful.
Kunlikova.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's going to one of the new teams.
I
I,
guarantee. Yeah, I know she got picked up. So that tells you Cheryl Reeve is thinking big.
yeah,
Cheryl Reeve is
that's what I
thinking
thought.
big.
That's
And
exactly what I thought
they
too.
let Carlton go too. But
Right.
they still have McBuckets.
Right.
You know, Kayla McBride. And it's like you would think like, oh, you know, they could get another 3-point shooter. And it's like, but they let those two go. But I mean, Cheryl Reeve knows what she's doing. Like if Lauren these mock drafts have Lauren Betts going to Washington. Like, why would Washington pick her?
No. Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, are you people thinking? Like, there's no way there,
No.
especially after this performance, like, there's no way Cheryl Reeve is going to let her go by Minnesota.
No.
And can you imagine Lauren Betts and Fee together? Do you know how much that's going to open up for Fee?
I still think she's going number one.
I do
I don't even
too.
think Lynx are even gonna, they're hoping that's why they're
Paige Beckers is
getting,
probably going, oh, please. You know,
yeah.
to she's very good at positioning herself.
Plus
And
they'll have a
people were
new,
like,
they'll have
oh,
a
well,
new,
she's not strong enough. And
yeah.
you saw what she did to Oldacre. And
Yeah.
Oldacre's huge.
Yeah.
Like
I
I'm
thought
amazed at the.
the draft is the 13th.
Yeah, it's Monday.
I sent
Isn't
you
it
like
Monday?
this. I sent you the schedule. I'm like, wow. Drafts the 13th, training camps the 19th, preseason games are the 25th, and here we go, May 8th with the tip off.
Yeah, I know.
That
I
was
know it's all
fast.
coming fast. It's all coming down the pipe. But I want to see like the draft. I want to see where Dukelich goes.
Yeah.
You know, she's on my radar and everybody's ignoring her. And I'm like, she came off the bench, but she played as much as any starter. And people
Right.
were like, oh, they don't go very deep. But yeah, they rotated those 7 players so that they all got rest. Well, 8 players actually. But they would, Ledger Walker and Kiki Rice would sub in and out for each other. And then Neepkins and Hawkes is just the Energizer Bunny. I was
Love
watching
her.
something and
Love her.
these other teams were interviewed and they were like, "Who's your scout?" And every single one of them said Hawkes, because you know what Lauren Betts is going to do. But
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh my God, she is like the hardest person to guard
Yeah.
because she's just going."
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
funny how they just, and then boom, she was just like,
I saw that that the Liberty Stewart staying, Anescu staying.
"Yeah,
That's not a shocker.
no,
Mabry, is it we're trying to think of the hyphenated name last week. Is it Delaney
oh,
Smith?
I had it.
Is
Oh
it
my God, I
Delaney
had it.
Smith?
Benijah Laney
Delaney?
Walker.
Laney Walker.
Benijah Laney Walker. Yeah.
I'm like, I was like trying to think of it.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of it. And then after we finished, I was like, oh man, how did I
Yeah.
not remember that?
And
Someone like her.
Mabry's going. Not a shocker. That wasn't from there. But Connecticut, all over Connecticut pages, thanks, Marina. I'm sure
Yeah,
she's like, see
yeah.
ya.
Well, especially with the team moving,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing.
Because that's
But
a
I
huge
was,
fight down here still. Now they're saying something was done wrong and da da da, and they
well,
shouldn't have been sold. And
isn't one of
uh,
the senators or something calling for an investigation?
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh boy, here we go.
Well, the Boston group was more money.
Yeah,
And it's like, why would you keep? Oh, and then we were talking last week. I couldn't remember Phoenix being in the West. Like, I'm like, I rewatched it. I'm like, oh my God, Phoenix.
yeah, the
Like the Aces
Spurs.
in
Yeah,
Phoenix.
yeah,
And then you have LA, San Francisco,
L.A.
now Portland and Seattle.
Right.
But you don't have, I mean, the only two like in that whole section are like Phoenix and the Aces. And then you get to Texas, and then from there, everything's east.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Now that's the
um,
other thing. Chicago. We were talking before. Traded Angel
Angel
Reese
Reese, yeah.
going to Atlanta Dream, your favorite gym of all. I mean, stadium.
Oh, I would not want to go to Atlanta for that
I
reason.
I
Like,
know. Well,
but
they'll
the
be playing
players
in
say
bigger
it's really
venues.
intimate, and they like it.
Yeah, it's probably good as a fan. It's probably really good because you can get
If
really
you can
good
get in,
seats.
but
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was that
It's
was the thing. I watched the Yukon men. They lost, but that was the other thing. I was like, wow, they're the stadiums and the amount of they build the court so that the guys step up onto the
yeah.
court. I was
I would
that
think that that's difficult to like just dribbling the ball, just having the floor. I wonder if they check it because as a guard, you're dribbling the ball, and it's like you have a elevated floor, and there's
yeah,
got to be dead spots there.
or bounce.
But the
Yeah.
guys, it's like when I was in college, you could always tell when it was men in the gym versus women because the guys, it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But the women, it's like it's just a normal sound. But when
Yeah.
the guys dribble the ball, it's like it they just put so much force into dribbling the ball. It's like, oh my God, what do you guys like? And that's just the strength difference.
Yeah, it
But
is.
it's but you
It
see,
is for sure.
it was really you could tell just listening. It was like, oh, there's a bunch of guys over there.
Yeah.
Without even seeing them, you could
But
tell.
watching the game, I was just thinking, yeah, here we go again. Dunks and threes, dunks and threes,
Yeah.
dunks and
It's just
threes.
not as enjoyable to watch.
No,
And,
it isn't.
that was the cool thing about, I mean, that was UCLA plays as a team and everybody contributes and they all don't care who is the leading scorer. It's like whatever it takes to win. So,
They had on
and
the side of Alana Mayer, I think I was telling you, if I'm saying her first name right. She's a rugby player for the United States, and she was loving the scrappiness because
yeah,
she was right in front. With she was sitting next to Chelsea Gray. The second game, she had Courtney and Natisha one game, and she's like, "Wow, I can't get
yeah,
over. It's like watching rugby when they're going for like the loose ball."
yeah. Except
Yeah,
you're landing on a hard court, not a
yeah,
grass
oh yeah,
field. There's a
for
big
sure.
difference there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the elbow, this, that. Who's
Yeah.
bleeding? Oh
Yeah.
God. So yeah, it was great. It was a good ending to a
It
great
was. I mean,
year.
if UConn, I mean, I thought UConn would win. Given what they were playing like and what UCLA was playing like, UCLA would have beat them too.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
it was like UCLA was just not going to be denied.
Right.
Just that smile with Jaquez after when Holly Rowe was interviewing her, and she was like, "What are you getting from?" She goes, "We're national
National
champs."
champion. Yeah,
And she
exactly.
just kind of does this, and it was like I just cracked up laughing when I saw her
I
do
know.
that.
What
It was
happened
so
to them?
cool.
Where are you going? Going to Disney World. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't have those anymore. National
yeah, they're not far
champs.
from Disney World. I mean,
Right,
they're
there you
not far
go.
from Disneyland.
Hey, they get a lot of opportunities just being champs. Good for them. They
Yeah,
deserved it. They
yeah,
really deserved it. And I'm glad that they won. I'm glad it
yeah.
turned
They
out
did
the way it
deserve it.
did.
That was.
You know?
It was like the. I mean, it was like the perfect Easter for me.
Yeah.
Beautiful day, just pristine day out here, and
Maureen hiding up on one of her trees because she's afraid to come in and jinx anybody.
no, I was just sitting out on the deck. I'm like, okay, I can always rewatch this, but
Yeah.
I don't think my heart can take it
Yeah.
if it
Relax.
goes bad. And
Yeah.
I just was nervous. And Doreen called me and she started laughing at me. I'm like, Doreen, I was sitting out on the deck. I couldn't stand it. I was so nervous.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, that goes to show you how into it you are. That's great. That's
Oh,
great.
I
And
haven't
now
been in.
we'll find out who picks up who during the draft, and then we could do
Well,
this all over again.
I know. It'll be interesting to see who UCLA picks up. They do have some freshmen. They have, Tamia Gardner it will be back. And she was on the team last year and she's a hell of a three-point shooter. And she was sitting there on the bench for this she got injured or something and couldn't come back. So she's like she'll be a grad student next year for them.
Yeah.
And and Sienna Betts, she needs to trim down a little bit, and but she's only a freshman, and it's like she still was pretty tough under the boards.
Yeah,
She
I
doesn't
thought she
jump
was
much,
very good.
but she doesn't have those extra 3 inches her sister has.
Right.
And I was telling you before, if you catch it, if you look on YouTube, there's this thing called Queen of the Court. And at some point during the season, they did a one-on-one tournament between all the players at UCLA. And the Bet sisters had to play each other. And they
Yeah.
were all like, okay, no fouls. Because part of the rules were you had to call a foul. There's no official. You had to call a foul. And they were both like, no fouls. We're not calling fouls. And I thought, oh boy, this is going to be good. Two sisters,
Yeah.
and Lauren is just like, you're not going to beat me. And they were like tackling each other. It was great.
Oh
It was
my
so
God, that's
comical.
hilarious. Well,
And
did you see at the end of the champion ship when Holly Rowe was talking to Lauren Betts, I believe it was, and she
mhm.
had the trophy in her hand, and her sister comes up behind her, and you see her go like, "Stop!" And
Yeah.
she goes, "She tried to pants me."
Oh, I saw her interviewed and she goes, there was a player like, cause she said, when you're posting up, you expect some contact and stuff.
Yeah,
And there was a player that tried to pull my pants down.
yeah.
And she was just like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, what are
We
you
see
doing?
that. we see that enough. As a matter of fact, I was watching, there was some preseason baseball game or whatever, and I'm like, holy cow, this guy's going, heavy set guy going for a foul ball. You'll see it soon, I'm sure, because it's all over the place, or I'll send it to you. I'm
Okay.
telling you, if you think Artemis, that went up to get the moon shots, this
Oh, really?
Marine, how does that happen? I said, first of all, the guy didn't wear underwear. Second of all, it's like this mustn't much of ass crack, and you still missed the damn
Oh
foul ball. Yeah, I'm like, we got more shots on the moon at a baseball game than he did. Ask for it. You gotta love it. I'm
no. Oh
like, Jesus,
my
I'll send it to you later so you
God.
can
Oh my
take a look.
God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
frightening. Anywho, so when would you like to meet again, my friend?
Well, why don't we do after the draft?
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Either later
that's
on Monday or Tuesday
yeah,
morning.
yeah.
We can do
If
Tuesday
either
morning.
I get my shit together or you wake up, we're both good.
I was up watching that Queen of the Court thing. Think I was
No,
up
no,
till
I
2 in
gotta
the morning or
watch that.
something.
I have to
You should
watch
check
that
it out. It was pretty funny.
because now that I've watched the story of the team,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm all about, the
Yeah,
story.
they're all different
So,
episodes. They're like
yeah,
little 5 or 10 minute episodes of each. Like they introduce the whole thing, and then they put up a bracket, and they're in like one of the practice gyms, and it's just like how they do the whole thing, and then each like they had Billick. Oh, that's the other player that's coming back. Billage. She's only a freshman, so she'll be a sophomore, and she's quite the shooter, and you can see it in this one-on-one. She plays Megan Grant, who's one of the best softball players in the country. And what was interesting is they were like, Megan Grant was 5'10". This is how you know how tall UCLA is. You look at Megan Grant, she's got the red hair.
yeah.
She would come in at the end of the games a lot, but she wanted to be a part of the team, and they were all friends. And Hawkes, up until this year, played on the softball team. So her and
I know he
Hawkes are
does.
friends.
Yeah.
And so Corey Close let her be on the team, and you'd see Megan Grant go in at like like a minute or two left when UCLA was up by a lot. And you look at her and you think she's like my size. She's 5'10".
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, she's 5'10". But Bilic, she played I think it's Bilic, but she's Croatian.
Uh-huh.
And so is Dugalic. But it's Bilic, I think. Anyway, quite the shooter.
Yeah.
She got in the championship game too. She didn't hit a shot, but she put up a couple of threes.
Yeah.
But she's like 6'3". And it was like, oh wow, Megan Grant's 5'10". Like never would have guessed that. It's like you can't really tell how tall they are when you're watching it. Like you get next to them and you go, "Whew." There was one of the people, covering the game, they were like, oh yeah, I walked by Madison Booker and she goes, "Hmm, she's huge. You don't realize how big she is."
Yeah.
And it's like, she's just solid. And Booker's what, 6'1"? I don't know
Uh,
how tall she is.
I
She's
don't know.
around 6'1". She's not like huge, like super, but this announcer was like, whoa, man, she's walked by her. She's like really huge.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like you
That's
don't
why.
realize that
No, you don't. You have to go to a game and either be like right near
on the
a player
sidelines.
to
Yeah.
actually be like, wow,
I went to a
and they don't
Stanford
mess
game.
around.
I was when Stanford was really good. It was like, holy crap. Like they were all really tall. Like, oh my
And
God.
like you said, built. Like I was right next to even Chelsea Gray. She was she was dribbling before the game. She dribbles
Well,
two
she's
balls and then puts them in
5'11".
between. Well, her
Oh yeah,
biceps, oh,
yeah.
jeez
You can see
Louise.
that on the TV. She's
I
definitely cut.
do. I'd be like, wow. Yeah, no, they don't fool around. Well, you
No.
can't. Gotta lift the
Your
weights.
body won't maintain the you know, gruel. What is it? The gruel you
Punishment.
have to go through.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You
Hey,
have to
so
have strength.
we'll catch up again. Something neither one of us have because you can't get up and I can't get the right time. We don't have the strength to even do this. But we know. We'll catch each other after the
Okay.
draft. Then. All right.
All right.